You do not need a habit that works only when you feel inspired. You need a habit that still exists on ordinary, difficult days. Most people design habits for their best day. But your life is mostly made of average days, distracted days, and tired days. This is not a personal defect that only a few people face. Difficulty sustaining healthy behavior is a population-scale problem. The World Health Organization reports that 31% of adults do not meet recommended levels of physical activity worldwide. Among adolescents, the number is even more striking. 80% do not meet recommended activity levels. WHO also notes that adult inactivity rose by 5 percentage points from 2010 to 2022 and may reach 35% by 2030. WHO estimates that physical inactivity carries a 20 to 30% higher risk of death compared with being sufficiently active. When a habit breaks, most people conclude that they are lazy or inconsistent. But the first question should be whether the system was designed to survive a low-energy day. Most habits are built for good days, full energy, free time, high motivation, and perfect mood. That is why they collapse in ordinary life. A stable habit is not the one that performs best on a good day. It is the one that still functions when the day is difficult. Psychologists Wendy Wood and David Neal describe habits as learned responses to recurring contexts. That means the cue matters as much as the action. If habits depend on repeated context, then your system must begin with a stable cue, not a vague wish. A floor habit has 5 parts: the same cue, the same place, a small action, a short duration, and a recovery rule. The cue should be obvious and repeated. After tea, after brushing, after dinner, after opening your laptop, the cue should tell the brain what comes next. The place also matters. A repeated physical context reduces negotiation and helps the brain recognize the behavior more quickly. The floor action should be intentionally small, not impressive, just repeatable, small enough to survive resistance. A floor habit should finish before your mind begins arguing. Short duration protects the behavior on difficult days. The recovery rule decides what happens after imperfection. Without one missed day becomes a broken identity. With one, missed days become small interruptions. Here is a study floor. After evening tea, at the same desk, revise 10 questions for 10 minutes. If missed, return at the next evening tea. The same logic works for exercise. After changing clothes, walk for 10 minutes. The point is not intensity. It is keeping the identity alive. Wendy Wood also emphasizes that behavior is shaped by environment. If the healthy action has many steps and the distracting action has one step, the easier option often wins. Therefore, do not merely increase motivation. Reduce the number of steps between the cue and the action. Preparation done earlier protects action later. The easiest way to win tomorrow is to make tomorrow easier tonight. Peter Gollwitzer and Pascal Chirin reviewed 94 independent tests and found that if-then plans improved goal achievement. A vague goal like study more asks the mind to negotiate. A specific implementation intention removes much of that negotiation. Most people fail by attempting complete self-reconstruction. Start with one floor habit. Let stability come before expansion. Phillippa, Lally, and colleagues tracked real habit formation and showed that automaticity grows gradually. There is no fixed universal deadline. The well-known 66-day figure is a median in one study, not a promise for every person or every behavior. In that same study, the time to reach automaticity ranged from 18 to 254 days. That means patience is part of the method. Automaticity usually rises quickly at first and then levels off. The process is not linear. Early repetitions matter. Lally's study also showed that missing one opportunity did not destroy habit formation. The danger is no-tone miss. The danger is abandonment. This is why the recovery rule matters so much. You do not need a dramatic comeback. You need the next cue and the minimum version. Self-trust is rebuilt not by promising more, but by returning sooner. The mind learns that you are someone who comes back. A modern resolution study found that approach-oriented goals, such as eat more vegetables, performed better than avoidance-oriented goals, such as stop eating badly. High intensity can look impressive, but consistency is built by repeatability. A floor habit protects repeatability. A perfect plan asks for your best self every day. A floor system asks for the minimum repeatable version and expands only when possible. On a bad day, ask 5 simple questions. What is the cue? What is the minimum action? What obstacle can I remove? What is today's duration? And what is my recovery rule? When you are tired, Reduce scale, not identity. Keep the ritual alive. A smaller version is not failure. It is continuity. When you miss, do not redesign your entire life. Return to the floor version at the next cue. That is the whole rule. The Bhagavad Gita speaks of abhyasa, practice. In this context, practice means repeated return, not emotional intensity. The same verse also speaks of vairagya, detachment. Here, detachment means not turning every imperfect day into self-condemnation. So the system is simple. One habit, one cue, one place, one small action, one short duration, one recovery rule. Now fill the formula. After I blank, I will do blank for blank minutes. If I miss, I return at the next cue. Do not build a habit for your ambitious self. Build it for the self who is tired, distracted, imperfect, and still willing to begin. These ideas combine peer-reviewed habit research, official public health data, explanatory books, and one clearly labeled philosophical reflection.